Hello everyone, and welcome back to some Pal World. Here I'm going to be doing a Xenolord raid, which, spoilers, I completely fumble, but I've got a successful Blazamut Ryu raid afterwards, so I'll be talking about the strategy. This one is my first ever Xenolord raid, and after tackling a lot of the hard mode tower bosses, I decided to see if my base squad was strong enough to take on a Xenolord. Um, Again, in part, this is due to the V1 armor allowing for health regen upon doing damage to enemies, and then also, secondly, because of the raid arena feature, which I'm showing off here. And this allows for you to not have to fight in one of your bases. And they really made the raid menu a lot more convenient, just by, well, allowing you to pick whatever slab that you want from your base, and then being able to stuff it into the raid, so you don't have to have any of the things in your inventory. And again, not having to fight in your base is really nice. Like, if you have a specially designed raid base for taking on these guys, great, that's amazing. You can do a lot with that, but if you more just have like resource collection bases or casually, um, it's really nice that they implemented this so you don't have to fight in an area that you spend a lot of time working on. So the pals that I have in my, I also probably don't have all of like the weapon stuff for this one, because I believe Xenolord was the Fabre grade boss, and most of the stuff that I'm using is still the Sakurajima weapons, just because the resources for them are a lot easier to acquire. Now, the pals that I'm using are the Ice Horse Frost Stallion, because it's super effective against the dragon type, and I also am able to shoot and throw healing grenades off of its back, and yeah, and it also just is generally quite strong and good. Um, Being a dark and dragon type, Xenolord is effective against dark and normal pals, and is quite strong. Despite having I would say 1.3 million health. One of the actual very nice things about Xenolord that you'll see through this fight is that it only has one health bar. Some of the others, like Belanoir Libero and Blazamut Ryu, they have multiple forms that go with their health bar. Now, part of this of I don't have like a full level 65 squad, and he does summon dudes, which is not very nice of him. But some of the pals that I have that I'm using, I have the vampiric ability on, so that, like with the V1 armor, when they do damage, they can regenerate their health, which is really nice. And as you can see here, you can take these guys out and just stuff more people into fight. And having pals is available and able to fight is relatively important. Um, it's not super easy to dodge all of a raid boss's attacks, because they are designed to have like a full roster of pals fighting them. So it's having the recovery grenades and pals that can heal themselves with the vampiric ability is really nice. And ice, so part of it is I have some ice dragons, which are both technically super effective against dark and dragon, because dragon is good against dark in this game. So The Azure Crysts have vampiric, so ideally they would be healing up, but even with the recovery grenades, I don't have like enough passive boosts to their defense, I think, to allow them to really come forth. Like like everyone is doing like a decent amount of damage. It's just that everything is just like slightly under prepared, because I get really darn close to being able to finish this guy off. However, I just don't have the like the last push, because here he dumps in a lot of guys, including Xeno guards, which are a lot more powerful dragon pals, in addition to the little alien Xenovator guys. So him just dropping in just such a huge army is not really conducive to me winning. So a lot of it is like, alright, what pals, because in the tower bosses, you pretty much just have the pals, like it's you and your team versus the boss, so there's not really like a question, like you just bring your 5 strongest. It's not really a question of do you put some of your strong ones in the base in order to have them out fighting in addition. Because in addition to my ice horse, I have a dragon, and what's actually really cool is you can just respawn here, and because you're respawning in the raid arena with the raid, you get to just keep all of your items, because usually if you lose all your health, like you drop your items and you have to go collect them. Here I just start with everything right next to the pal box and have a full shield, so I'm able to just like immediately start micromanaging the team. Unfortunately, I didn't really have a backup squad in place, where if I had more of a full squad of guys to fight Xenolord, I probably would have been able to like do that get the last push of damage, because as you can see, he's taking out all of the other guys quite quickly, and really I'm getting a huge amount of support and damage from all of the base pals. So it is unfortunate that, but just in wanting to just attempt this fight, it's not necessarily rushed, I would say, but it's certainly I wanted to give it a shot to just sample how much damage do you actually need, how many guys do you need, what level of investment in there's like the stat boosters you have do you need in order to take down Xenolord. And the answer is a lot. Now a lot of this is like, if you don't mind, like there are probably faster ways to grind, but if you don't mind the grind, you can just casually get enough stuff and get everyone up to all of the levels. And here, like this particular attack is just a nightmare to dodge when it's just by yourself. So it's one of those ones where there's certainly just a whole lot going on. Oh yeah, but just running around like in the, I don't know if it was perfectly available in the new update or not, but there's an item that allows you to get more experience from just like passively defeating enemies. So there's just a whole lot I think you can do in order to without having to like do too much skill intensive stuff, just farm up all of the things you need. And what's also really cool is that even though I keep dying, I'm able to just keep respawning in, which is really really convenient in all of this. So if nothing else, hopefully my blunders at least inform, do a decent job of informing how this kind of works, and it certainly is, it's certainly achievable. Now, Hartalis is the new raid. I don't know how well that one is going to go, but certainly once I get a squad ready for this guy, it's going to be a lot easier to keep getting squads ready, because these guys, like, there are several different varieties of stat boosters. There's some that just increase your stats by a percentage of what they already are, and others that increase like a hidden value that increase the stat. And so both of them, like, they stack together, and these guys dropped like the hidden one, which is the harder one to obtain. So if you, the more raids you're able to win, the better, because then you'll get all of the hidden stat stuff. And as I was talking about earlier, if it's just you, that attack just very difficult to dodge, and it does not help that it lights my dragon on fire. And unfortunately, even though I have an absolutely valiant showing, I am running out of time, because the raids do have a 10 minute timer. But knowing that I did so reasonably well on like this first attempt, and knowing this, like, alright, if I just had a slightly better auxiliary squad, that I would be able to do this. Like, I could very easily, like, I trust that I can actually accomplish this one. So I'll probably do that in a little bit of a later video. But it's still certainly fun to attempt and flounder. But yeah. So all that aside, a little bit of extra just like playing and filling out the team and increasing their levels will allow for me to take down Xenolord without too much difficulty. And again, because my base isn't destroyed and all these guys just go back to the box, they're able to just heal up, and you're able to attempt this thing again in a reasonable amount of time. Here I'm gonna cut and jump to the Blazamut Ryu raid. Alright, so here I am at the Blazamut Ryu one, where so what I'm doing here is using food to stack an attack buff on myself and my main attacking party. The two cute dragons at the bottom, they just have a passive that increase my attack power. It is not the most numerically efficient. There's certainly better ways to do it, but they're what I had available at the time when doing this recording. And after just waiting a little bit, here I'm putting down a food box to make sure that all of the pals basically fill up their hunger meters. And I think I also have an attack buff food in there for them, so they also get a bit of a passive attack buff. And then because of the type difference and level difference, I'm able to basically just stack this out a lot simpler. So Blazamut Ryu is a fire dragon, so the fire is effective against ice, so it's kind of neutral-ish and damage-wise to ice, but it's able to hit ice hard at first. However, it's very weak to water. Thank goodness that we can put out fires. Shout out to all of our emergency service our fire emergency services, I guess. But all that aside, I'm able to stack up a little bit of a different team here, but still with some of the self-healing guys from the Xenolord raid. And because this one is a lower level raid, but still, I'd say still not trivial. And this also has the two-phase part where he becomes an electric, so he can wipe out all of like the water guys that you bring with, if you bring like a bunch of water guys with you to just like attack the fire element, he can really just like jump super fast on the electric side when at the phase change, and then just like ruin your deck. So there is like a combination amount of like preparation. I don't know. As much as it is just throw strong dudes in and win, there is an amount of thought that goes into it. um, and yeah, and these guys still are not trivial in terms of power and energy. Because as you can see here, we get him down all the way to 1, and then he regains what, like an extra 150,000. So although he has like half the total health of Xenolord, it's still not not at all trivial without the preparations. But yeah, again, I've been having a lot of fun with the update, and also having the self-heal armor and some of the other things, some of the other quality of life stuff in the last update. I've just been having a good time. So we'll see how things go for Xenolord. Hartalis is probably going to take a decent amount of preparation, but I don't know. It just is nice to just go, you know what? These are feasible for me just playing silly and not being like an entire dedicated channel to it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope these are still nice and fun boss fights, and that there's some useful information with them. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to catch you in one of the next videos at least, where hopefully we can get some revenge on Xenolord. See ya!